Hey, what's going on, SWAC fans? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the SWAC podcast. And as you can see, I am at the radio station where I work, 90.9 FM. Shouts out to everybody that tunes in every single day. But I want to talk to you all a few minutes about Deion Sanders. And the reason I want to talk about Deion Sanders is because we all know about the comments that he made in regards to no HBCU players being drafted last week in the NFL draft. Now, for those that may not have checked it out, don't be discouraged. I got the comments right here. This is via social media. And he says, we have the audacity to hate on one another while kids are being neglected and rejected. I witnessed a multitude of kids that we played against that were more than qualified to be drafted. My prayers are that this won't ever happen again. Get your knife out my back and fight with me, not against me. So these comments have been making their rounds. A lot of people in the sports world, as well as the media world, have chimed in. And to be quite honest with you, I don't want to fall into that trap, right? The State of the SWAC podcast, I want to focus on other universities besides my own, which is Jackson State. I graduated from Jackson State. Love the fact that Deion Sanders is there. I love the exposure that my alma mater is getting, but I don't want to fall into the trap like that's the only thing that I talk about here. And, even though Deion Sanders is a very polarizing figure, I don't want this to be the Deion Sanders show, okay? But I do want to talk about him because for some apparent reason, there's this guy on Deadspin. And for the last couple months, I've noticed that this guy has been putting out different types of articles, basically downgrading and downright disrespecting Deion Sanders. And this guy's name is Karen Phillips, okay? Karan or Karen or whatever the heck his name is. But he's been making very negative remarks towards Deion Sanders, man. First off, I think it was like a couple months ago back in February, he was talking about how Deion Sanders is a drama king or whatever because he was bringing drama to Jackson State because the first game in which Jackson State won, Deion Sanders was talking about somebody stole his stuff and he was talking about, he just drama filled. And now he's questioning this man's integrity yet again because of his comments that he made about HBCUs. But I had to go a little bit deeper when it comes to Karen Phillips, okay? Karan, whatever the heck his name is, I had to go a little bit deep. And I realized that this guy is a little bit of a shock jock or, just a guy that's on his TMZ type stuff. It seems like to me his articles are always controversial. He gave us great articles like Caitlyn Jenner is a hypocritical trans athlete who wants to build a wall and isn't preaching what she practiced. And he also gave us stuff talking about Zion Williamson taking money from Adidas. So this guy right here seems to me like he just trying to create drama, and he's trying to create that drama to build his brand up or something like that, which is just absolutely ridiculous. I have absolutely no respect for individuals that don't want to do it the classic way with hard work and dedication. They want to shock jock their way to the top. And that's something that I won't like to fall into. And I think anybody that's trying to do it like that is a sucker. But that's just my opinion. All right. But anyway, Deion Sanders and what he has done since he has come to Jackson State University, he has brought credibility. Whether you like Jackson State or not, whether you are a fan of your respected alma mater or just a school in general, you have to admit that the star power that he brought to Jackson State University and he has put on the Southwestern Athletic Conference is something to be proud of. And with that, you have a lot of people that have flew under the radar that is going to get the attention they so rightfully deserve. Now, I'm a firm believer if a guy works hard and he dedicates himself and he is, really putting forth the effort, I think he needs to get the exposure. But let's just be honest about this, folks. How many people we know that can sing? How many people we know that can dance? How many people we know that can act their behind off but still has not hit mainstream? But with Deion Sanders, whether Jackson State is winning football games or not, if they're going up against Alabama A&M, the world gets to see Akil Glass. If they go up against Southern, people can see Jordan Lewis. If they go up against some of these other universities, they can see these guys, that probably fly under the radar. They're on a bigger platform and make them more likely to be drafted. Now, I'm not buying into that whole situation like, well, it was a pandemic and HBCU players wasn't able to be seen. Like, man, miss me with that, all right? Because I'm seeing people that's getting drafted from schools I never even heard of, right? So I can't take that as an excuse. And it's sad that we're living in 2021 and these guys are loaded with talent and they are not getting the attention they so rightfully deserve. And I don't care if Deion Sanders is, is the focal point or not. The fact of the matter is when a camera comes on, they're showing the sidelines, but a game is going down. And in a process, you're going to see that those players are actually worth the price of admission. So I love that aspect. And anybody that's throwing shade at Deion Sanders, all I got to say to you is you're jealous. I'm just being honest. If you're not a Jackson State University alum, a Jackson State University student, and you throwing shade at Deion Sanders, you're jealous. Because I guarantee you, if your school had an opportunity to have Deion Sanders as the coach, you would be throwing a parade, you'd be dancing in the street, you would be celebrating because you know the type of individual that he is, and you know the type of light that is going to shine down on your university. So you got a lot of people that are upset, and I get it. I completely understand why a lot of people are upset. They're upset because, quite frankly, Jackson State has not been good for a very long time. I think the last time Jackson State University won a SWAC championship, I was actually a senior. So about 2007, going into the 2008 football season. I think the SWAC championship was in 2007, I think. But anyway, I was a senior, okay? That's the last time they won a SWAC championship, and we all know about the SWAC championship appearances, but they didn't win, all right? So I can say about since like 2013, they haven't really won anything. And I have to admit, when I was going to those games during homecoming, my goodness, man, I mean, it wasn't nothing to cheer for, man. I was talking about everything but the game out there. You know what I'm saying? I was catching up with my friends. You know what I'm saying? We talking about what we're going to do after the homecoming game. There was just little to no type of attention being paid to the game. But now, for the first time in a long time, we feel like we have a legit shot. But back to what I'm saying, all right? Jackson State University, because Deion Sanders is there, is going to get a lot of attention. But that does not mean that these other schools don't deserve the attention, okay? Alabama A&M deserves all the attention in the world for winning the SWAC championship. Alcorn State deserves attention because they've been dominating the Southwestern Athletic Conference, you know what I'm saying, winning championships, 4 out of the last, 6 years or something like that? So these guys deserve the attention. But at the same time, don't get mad at Deion Sanders because he is a star. He is ingrained in pop culture. He is the greatest cornerback of all time. And with that is going to come cachet. And wherever he puts his name to, that is going to get the center of attention. But it doesn't mean those other schools don't matter. So for all those people out there that's upset about this, I think you need to be happy because as long as he's here, I think a lot of schools can take advantage of this situation. And as far as this guy that's writing these articles, man, I mean, just find yourself something else to do. You know, I just can't. I just don't understand how people just continuously try to build a brand and try to build credibility by tearing others down. I just don't like that. And also he said in the article, he talked about, well, if Deion Sanders was so, caring and loving about HBCUs and players getting drafted, then why was he saying this before? It probably wasn't on his mind because it wasn't on his focal point. I mean, look, let's stop pretending like we come out the womb caring about stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? We think about this right now. One of the biggest things that, people are invested in right now is Dogecoin, right? You would think that Dogecoin came out last week. Would you know that Dogecoin been out since 2013, 2014, right? You know what I'm saying? But it's the fact that people have brought it to our attention. We're like, oh, snap, let me go ahead and invest in this. Sometimes it takes a situation being brought to us in order for us to buy in. So why would Deion Sanders, who went to Florida State, who came out of Florida State, drafted by the Falcons, played for the Cowboys, 49ers, you know what I'm saying, living out there in, I want to say Frisco, Texas. You know what I'm saying? That probably wasn't on his mind because he didn't have an emotional investment in it. But he had an opportunity to coach at a HBCU and having an opportunity to understand like some of the, discrepancies that were going on between these historical Black college football programs and some of these power conferences. Maybe he took it upon himself to use his star power to try to elevate that situation. Look, we do it all the time, folks. We watch television shows, we watch commercials. They're telling us about things that we can do in order for us to help society. We didn't know about it at first, but then all of a sudden we become ingrained in it. We become so passionate about it. So why can't Deion Sanders? Okay, so give this guy an opportunity to try to change the narrative. That's what his goal is. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't proven otherwise. The only thing I've seen is him trying to use his star power to try to elevate HBCU football as a whole. And and it's also showing. I mean, to me, I don't think Eddie George would have been the head coach at Tennessee State if they didn't see Deion Sanders become the head coach. I don't think we'll be hearing about Ed Reed and Ray Lewis and Marshall Faulk, these guys like that, if it wasn't for Deion Sanders. I don't think that people would be looking at former players to come to their programs to try to turn them around if it wasn't for Deion Sanders. So I think this is a good thing. But I would love to hear from you. What do you think about Deion Sanders? What do you think about his comments? And do you think that his heart is in the right place? Comment down below, like and share this video. This has been the State of the SWAC podcast. Thank you all so much. And if you have not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the SWAC, and also on Facebook, facebook.com, search The State of the SWAC. And thank you all so much for checking out the State of the SWAC. We've had some great commentary. We also have some great interviews. Special shout out to Ms. Tiffany Green, play-by-play commentator on ESPN, as well as her colleague and partner, Jay Walker. Both were on the show. And we're going to bring some more people, on the State of the SWAC podcast to talk to us about HBCU football. Hopefully, you all enjoy the content. Till next time, all I got to say is, it's rough in the SWAC.